Hello and welcome. This is Torshell of the Insanity Gamer Guild, and we're starting a new series of Pillars of Eternity. We're going to get right into a new game on normal. And there are bits where the game has text built in. I won't talk during those. Otherwise, yes? So this is a real-time role-playing game, which I have not played very much of. I've done the tutorial and made sure everything works. Which, it should. And once the loading screen goes away, I'll be quiet.
Five wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
Yeah, so now, character creation. I already know what the character is going to be. They're going to be male. Male and female may have different chat options, but otherwise the same. There are multiple races, humans, Auma, dwarves, elves, Orlan, and godlike, who get different bonuses to stats. Humans are resolve and might, Auma have 2 might, dwarves have extra might, but lower dexterity and higher constitution. Elves have dexterity and perception. Orlan have more resolve, less might, and more perception. And the godlike have more dexterity and intelligence. But we're going to be humans, who are common people and our folk. The Uma live at the ocean. Dwarves are dwarves. They live all over the place, kind of, for some reason. Elves, they're the forest dwellers, and some dwell in Iceland. There are Orlan, who are small beast people, and godlike are actually the children of other races that are quote-unquote blessed by the gods. They may not consider it such, but we are going to be human. Now each race has sub-races, yeah, that's right, and they can have different abilities. For humans, it's more just where they are. Their ability is all fighting spirit. We are going to be meadow folk, and now that we have who we are, we go to the class. There are barbarians, who actually are good at fighting groups because they have carnage, which hits nearby enemies as well as the one you're targeting. They have athletics, so they get tired less quickly, and survival, so their items last longer. They have high endurance, very high health and endurance, average accuracy but low deflection. Chanters, they chant while they're doing other things like attacking, and they can use invocations for more powerful effects after certain numbers of chants. They know of lore, which is random knowledge and trivia on esoteric topics, and mechanics, so they're good with traps. They have low endurance, low health, average accuracy, and high deflection, so yeah. There's ciphers, who use mind powers. They are better at stealth. They, stealth literally is you're harder to see in stealth. And lore and mechanics. They are low endurance, low health, average accuracy, high deflection. There are druids, who actually can shift into an animal form and cast some spells. They have lore and survival. Low endurance, health, accuracy, but high deflection. Mages are very squishy. They're fighters, which is what we're going to be, who are tanks, basically. They keep going kind of till death, because constant recovery regenerates their endurance, which is your in-combat health. You have an actual health stat, which is total health. If health runs out, you die. If endurance runs out and you have a party who wins the battle, you still survive. They have athletics, lore, and survival. Apparently. They have high health, average endurance, very high accuracy, and flexion. Good class. There are monks who fight with their fists and use wounds to power their abilities. They're stealthy, athletic, and survival. Average endurance, very high health, very high accuracy, high deflection. Very high deflection. Man. There are paladins and priests who have a different mechanic. But paladins have a bonus to all their defenses, but it shifts based on the reputations they gain. So, paladins and priests have, like, orders or gods who want them to act in certain ways. Like, if you're a Bleakwalker's paladin, you want to be cruel and aggressive, but not benevolent or diplomatic. Kind wayfarers, benevolent, passionate, but not deceptive or cruel. But paladins, average endurance, high health, average accuracy, you know. Priests, they come with a heal that also harms enemies. They get spells, athletics, lore, and overallly low stats. There are rangers, who are, archers, but they get an animal companion, who follows them around, and, is bonded with them. So if the ranger goes down, the companion's weaker. If the companion goes down, the ranger's weaker. They're more stealthy and survival. But they actually have very high health, but low endurance. Good accuracy, high deflection. Rogues, they have sneak attack, so basically if you can attack really early in combat, they do extra damage, or if you can afflict the enemy with any of these conditions, you do more damage. They are stealthy mechanics, but overall, they're very weak, but they're accurate. There are wizards who have Arcane Assault, which is a spell they can use twice in every combat. And then they can learn other spells, which they store in their grimoire. And from that grimoire, they cast the spells. At first, it's once per rest. I think later it becomes per encounter for weaker spells. Lore, mechanics, very low endurance, health, accuracy, deflection. They are weak. We're going to be a fighter, and here are the abilities we can have. We can either knock them down twice per encounter, and they are prone for 5 seconds versus their fortitude, or Discipline Barrage, which makes you more accurate once per encounter, which is what we're having. Okay, so now we're on stats. There's Might, which improves your damage and healing, and your fortitude, which is basically your resistance to poison and disease, apparently. Your constitution, which is your endurance and health. I'm just going to max that. Also gives you fortitude, but this can make you much more durable. There's dexterity, which gives you action speed and reflex, which is dodging AoE attacks. Perception, which gives you interrupt, which makes you interrupt enemies more. Deflection and reflex, which we've covered. Intellect, which improves AoE effect, like size, the duration of abilities, and will, which is magic defense. Then there's resolve, which makes it harder for you to be interrupted, and improves your deflection and magic defense. I'm going to up this to 14. I'm upping might to 14, and I'll up perception. There. That's how the stats are going. Now we get to pick where we're from, which each gives you a bonus and is different. Adir, Big Empire. Archipelago is like a land of lawless pirates. Interesting place to come from. The Ixmal Plains are just plains, basically. Old Vela, they're like founded near ruins and something like that, and they study them and are smarter. There's Ratui, which is where we're coming from, because it gives you Constitution, which important. But it's a gulf, you know, ocean thing. Living lands, land full of life, great. There's lots of dangerous things, I suppose, so you're mighty. The White that wins, you're living in the frigging Arctic. It's cold, it's expansive, it's dangerous, and it makes you more perceptive. So, we are from Ratuai, or however we pronounce that. And then there's what we actually did before this story happened. Were we an aristocrat? A troublemaker? Like, we're higher up, we get lore. Or troublemaker, we get stealth and lore. Or a drifter, we just kind of wandered around, but we have stealth and survival. Hunters, again, stealth and survival, but they hunt, because that's, yeah. Laborers, you worked, you got athletics and mechanics. Mercenary, athletics and lore, you are literally a sellsword. Merchants, you trade, you get lore and mechanics. Scholar, you literally spend all your time researching, and if you aren't, it's wasted. Lore, you can come from a slave, where you are athletic and survival. I believe we are... I can't remember. Yeah, we're going to be a dissident. We are stealthy and know some lore. Stealth is very useful. And because of what I've picked, I'm going to do this. And then I think I went for... I don't know. Where's this? This? No. Yeah, we'll just go for, gray. Gray. There we go. Skin, one shade darker. Hair, I believe I wanted, yeah, that one. Facial hair, no. Now, there are some amazing facial hairs, but, yes. Sideburns and a funny mustache. Head, yeah, we'll go with the original. Now, where is the hair? I would like to give him that. That would be funny. That actually looks really good. I really am tempted to give him a mohawk and sideburns. No. It was around here somewhere. This one looks like new. Kind of. You know what? You shall have a mohawk. Then our portrait is that one.
What is it?
Now I am the leader of the group.
Nice and slow.
Huh? Follow me.
Keeping quiet.
Leading the way.
Easy now.
Stoic voice. And this is going to be Zelda's gut. No, guy. Click. And now we're done. Into the story. It's a really cool game. The caravan master finishes addressing the group, his bushy red mustache and sagging jowls quivering as if for emphasis.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you were planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
He nods towards a looming black mass on the hillside.
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who'd be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
At last, the caravan master turns to you, frowning as he looks you over.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, course. In which case you'll be dead in a day. There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry. About the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water.
Yes.
I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
Just that to Sparfell. We are sick. Now we have many chat options. Where would I find the berries? What are the runes? Is it dangerous? And what are the drugs? I'm going to go through most of the chat options, unless it seems like something bad, because there's a lot of story and lore in this game, which I like. Where would I find these berries?
They grow on a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
So, what are the runes?
Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear. Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pawn, so I hear.
This is a tutorial message. Who you are opens up options in dialogue. So, who did build the runes?
Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
Yes. Is it dangerous?
Not if you hurry about your business. And not if the weather holds up.
There is concern in his tone, but he doesn't elaborate. What kind of weather do they get out here?
This time of year? Rain, mostly. And wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here, time to time. Locals call it a Beowick. Born out of the ether. The spirit's path. Never seen it myself. Never cared to.
Beowick, dangerous. What are the giant rocks all around the camp?
They don't got Adra where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories. It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days. The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
I'll go find the berries now.
Hold on. Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
He scans over the travelers, resting his eyes at length on a sturdy armor-clad woman, who has spent the journey's nights sleeping on uneven ground without blankets or pillow.
Kalisha. Kalisha!
The woman looks up on her own time.
He needs to find some springberries. Watch that he doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
I like that interaction so much.
Don't listen to her. You're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything.
Yeah.
Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Beowick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
Okay.
You heard the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
Can have 5 companions. Select them with the circle under their feet. Click and they will go. If it's a circle with X, you can't. Okay, there we go. Now, all these are just... Oh, right. Most are neutral or friendly. You can click on them and they will greet you. Because if you hit tab, there are boxes.
I'll get it open.
I don't have a weapon. We have an infinite store for some odd reason.
Anyone need supplies?
Yeah.
I've got sundries for sale.
This is Hide. You see a man wearing simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, by a ragged tear in the seam of his tunic.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
He scratches one cheek with his knuckle. It's covered with uneven stubble, as if he hasn't quite gotten used to shaving on the road.
Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look.
Who are you?
I'm a trader, originally from the Adir Empire, but I've been trying to establish new business out here. Life on the road has brought some unexpected challenges, to be sure. And I'm sure you've noticed how prickly the locals can be. But we're here to make the most of things, right?
We might as well try. My thoughts exactly.
Something else you need? Looks like we're settled for the night.
Tell me about the Adir Empire.
It's not as big as it used to be, but it's still big. The mainland is a continent northwest of here, but the colonies used to include Rayed Saris and the Deerwood. About 150 years ago, Deerwood won its independence from the Empire. A fact our companions are quick to remind me of.
He gives you a lopsided grin and nods at the other scattered Caravanese. Why'd you move all the way out here?
Because it seemed friendlier than Rayed Saris? My brothers took over the family mercantile business a few years ago, and there wasn't enough for me to do back home. I moved out to try and expand.
Okay. He shrugs. Deerwood is a former Adir colony, so it seemed like a good place to stop. As much as I admire the Red Sands' work ethic, they've always struck me as a little fanatical. Sounds reasonable enough? Out here, I'm just taking it one day at a time. Let's see what you got. Stores let you trade for copper. There are crossbows, great swords. There's a Flail Duke. Gives you crush. And grazes become hits. Interesting. Shields, armor, lockpicks. Nah.
Right.
Exploration is key. You want to explore. I already know where I'm going. I've done this a lot. We're going to do the first bit of combat.
Let's check by those outcroppings.
It's through here. There is a wolf. It's a possible real-time system because you have to manage your characters, pause, give them orders.
Yeah.
Oh, it's instant. That's nice. Most have a limited number of uses. It's per encounter or per rest. It's very self-explanatory. Once like X numbers per encounter or X numbers per rest. Time you've rested. You engaged, you stop moving. You move again, the enemy will disengagement attack you. You automatically engage. You have 4 defenses: deflection, fortitude, reflex, and will. There are your attributes, level, items, and other effects. Accuracy is compared to the right defense. If accuracy is below, it's a penalty to the roll. It will miss or graze. More often, it's higher, it'll hit or crit. There's a damage reduction you have. We have, like, what is it? Where is it? We have apparently 9. If you have to overcome that, otherwise it'll make it so you don't do very much damage. Otherwise, the wolf is dying. Sometimes the weapon isn't correct. Your characters will comment on it and complain. Oh, I got a critical! It's better than a hit, and if your accuracy is higher than the defense, it's more likely to occur. Crits either increased duration or damage. Grazes are worse than hits and are decreased damage and effect durations. You can loot the wolf's corpse. And here are the springberries. But that's where I'm ending it for today. I will see you in the next video. Bye.